Paranormal in Pennsylvania may discuss topics such as suicide, murder, and other potentially upsetting things. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, this is Hannah.
And this is Matt Hannah.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannahs,
where we discuss all your favorite scary movies.
This is a new podcast where we will talk about our experiences watching some of our favorite, least favorite, and some brand new horror movies. We'll cover crowd favorites, like The Conjuring, polarizing films like The Witch, and even some movies that we love to hate on.
We'll even bring on some of our friends to complete this journey with us, including our resident scaredy cat sidekick and our professional actor pal.
Tune in on Wednesdays, where we will release episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube on a weekly basis. Happy hauntings!
Hello, and welcome to Paranormal in Pennsylvania,
where we discuss history and haunts.
Today's story takes us to an inn in the Poconos. I'm Sarah.
And I'm David.
Let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about the Shawnee Inn. And we were recently on a vacation in the Poconos, and we stopped here while on that vacation. And this place was like its own world, its own town. They had multiple restaurants, a golf course, the inn, etc. It was kind of mind-blowing to me.
It was a big area. It felt like there was plenty to do.
Right, just within the campus itself.
Right.
Yeah. There's tons of history there with the decor, the architecture, etc. But we did not have any paranormal experiences.
Cannot say that we did.
Yeah, nor did anyone else in our family that we were with. So that was frustrating, but...
Really relying on you there, guys.
So for the history of the land actually goes back to the Lenape tribe. They believed that the Delaware River was sacred because it created fertile soil that was great for farming. The town gets the Shawnee name because the first white settlers incorrectly assumed that the natives in the area were the Shawnee tribe. Just disappointing.
Oops.
I know, and now this inn is named after that.
Double oops.
Yeah. Don't lean into bad history. So, the inn is a historic property. It was built in 1911 and was initially called the Buckwood Inn. Many of the walls were built out of concrete, which was unusual for the time. But this was to help the inn withstand any flooding from the Delaware River. It has a famous golf course on it, and in 1943, the inn changed hands and was renamed the Shawnee Inn. The current owners had owned it since 1977 and expanded it to include all of the restaurants and the brewery that were there. So it didn't used to be as large of a campus. It did have the golf course when it was first built, but it didn't used to be quite as sprawling as it is now.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense that it grew over time, right?
Yeah. So, the ghost stories.
Spooky?
One employee said, and this is a direct quote, "There was something recently. Around 3 a.m., the doors to the ballroom sounded like something was banging against them. I looked down the hall and saw the doors rattling from the other side. It happened on its own every 30 seconds or so. It would stop and start again." End quote.
Can confirm. Is spook.
Yeah, and for it to be happening every 30 seconds or so and continuing to happen.
Right. I'm just walking out the door. Like, bye.
Yeah. I
No
also
thanks.
think the time is interesting because it's 3 a.m. and for Lizzie Borden, we learned that that's around when ghosts start to get super active.
Yeah, is it like 3 or 4 a.m. is supposed to the height?
Yeah, I think one of them, but still close enough. And other employees have also reported odd sounds at night, and night employees have reported candles lighting on their own.
Well, that's very nice.
Also very dangerous.
Depending on where you put the candle.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, if a candle burned all night and someone didn't know. But what I think is interesting about that is how prevalent were candles in 1911? I'm guessing more so.
Probably still fairly prevalent, especially out in the Poconos. Although I don't know how quickly electricity made its way out there as well.
Right, but I was thinking maybe they're interacting with these candles because they're unfamiliar with modern light switches. So they are looking for a light source and they just automatically gravitate towards the candle.
It is always so interesting to me that some ghosts just innately know how to interact with technology, even though they're from like literally a different century.
Right.
Versus some that seem to only be able to interact with candles because that's all they knew.
Right. It is really interesting. Night staffers have also reported glowing, floating orbs. When a team of local paranormal investigators came, they captured these orbs in photos of the ballroom specifically. The staff at the hotel said that people regularly reach out to them with photos that contain orbs in them.
Oh, spirit orbs.
I know. And we took tons of photos and video, but we did not get any. But to be fair, we weren't in the ballroom or the main old inn. We were going to the other places, like the restaurants.
Right, and we also weren't there at like, I would say a good, like not a paranormal hour by any means.
Yeah, it was like 3 p.m. or something.
Right.
There have been shadow figures observed in the kitchen, and these investigators, while they were there, they heard a crash in the kitchen and saw that items have been thrown off the shelves, but there was no one there but them. They determined that even with a physics analysis, I'm not going to get into it, that the items could not have fallen off on their own. So something had to have propelled them.
Ooh, we getting science up in here.
I know. Guests have reported experiencing cold spots throughout the inn, but some attribute this to the property just being old and maybe not consistently air conditioned or heated.
With big old buildings like that, when I hear like a random cold spot, that's not the most, paranormal indicator to me.
Right, and it was massive, so I could definitely see that being the case.
Yeah, like the previous story with when you involved the science.
Yeah.
That was a far better indicator.
Right.
Or spirit orbs. I'll take spirit orbs too.
Well, I think that so many people capturing it on photos makes me believe it because, okay, one person has it. People can say, oh, it's the lights looking weird or whatever. But if multiple people are regularly reaching out to the inn, there must be something to that.
Yeah, you could, but on the same coin, I guess this is the cynic side of me saying that it is an old building, so there could be a lot of dust too that gets moved.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's kind of mean to the innkeepers, 'cause that means that they're not keeping the place clean, and it was clean.
Yeah, we'd have to see the photos to give more commentary.
Sure.
There is one specific female ghost that's often reported at the inn. The ghost is seen roaming the main floor halls, and she is said to lock the women's bathroom door as if like locking it while using it.
That's funny.
That's scary.
No, because I think that'd be, I immediately start joking to myself like, oh, a woman really has to go to the bathroom. They run up to the door and it's locked, and then they finally get it unlocked and no one's in there.
Yeah. I thought of it a different way. I thought if I'm in there, I go to unlock the door, I unlock it, and then it locks again.
Oh, well, she's just looking out for you still.
Yeah.
You didn't wash your hands thoroughly enough. She's trying to tell you you're not done.
Sing the ABCs. There are also reports of a woman's scream being heard shortly after seeing her ghost. And on occasion, toilets flush on their own. And when that happens, a woman can be heard crying in the bathroom, even if there's no one in there. So people will walk past and hear a woman crying in the bathroom, but there's no one in there.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
I know, it's really sad.
Or I guess like depending on what the cry sounds like, it could be a happy cry.
Well, no. Some locals say that this is because a woman was murdered in one of the rooms near the lobby, and that this ghost, specifically that haunts the bathroom, is that woman.
I see. I don't think my
cry.
happy hypothesis is holding up right now.
I don't think
but
so.
You may not be done yet, so you might give me more information that like brings.
No,
it
that was
back.
the end of that ghost.
I see. It's a very sad ghost.
Yeah. One previous worker said that the golf course was haunted. While walking home one night, they saw a translucent man standing on a bridge that goes over a river in the course. And they said that they were so startled by the image that they refused to return to the course at night.
Huh. I mean, golfing at night anyways is difficult, right?
Golfing?
I'm sorry, it wasn't golfing. You said course.
He was a worker walking home across the golf course.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I don't golf, but I'm sure it would be hard at night.
Yeah, I totally misheard that part.
Yeah. So he said he won't take that way home anymore.
Fair. Yeah, it kind of is spook.
So there's also cabins on the property, and allegedly one of the cabins specifically is haunted, with guests reporting experiencing child ghosts here. They've heard children playing at strange times, like 3, 4 a.m. or even midnight. So again, this is leaning towards more active paranormal times. And they attribute these sounds to ghosts. The sound of children whispering can be heard specifically from the basement of this cabin, with one woman saying she got up in the middle of the night because she was convinced that her kids were playing downstairs, only to go downstairs and find no one. So she decided to go look for her kids, and they were in bed, but the sounds hadn't stopped. So she went back down to where the sounds were coming from and turned on the light, and the whispering sounds completely stopped as soon as she turned on the light.
Because now they had to hide because they knew they were in trouble.
Right. Do you think that's what it is? I'm wondering if maybe they weren't children whispering. Maybe it's a malicious spirit.
Sure, yeah, there have been stories of like malicious spirits imitating children, but also like I just find child ghosts to be particularly more creepy.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially like when there's like laughter, or they're like when they're giggling.
Yeah.
That's. But yours is even a scarier twist of if it is a malicious spirit trying to draw you over, because it, you're going to go see what the kid is, or like a crying baby.
Yeah, that's true. And guests have also reported being touched while sleeping in the cabin, with many people waking up saying that their spouse is shaking them or their kids are shaking them, but no one's there. They just, and sometimes they're even alone. So it'd be like if I went to bed before you, woke up to someone shaking me thinking it was you, and look around and you're not even in the room, not even next to me. So there's no way that the bed could have been shaken or anything.
That's another spooky occurrence for sure. But.
Right. And this is all in the same cabin, which is why to me, it sounds like there are multiple things going on. It could all be the kids. It could be the kids playing and whispering and waking up the person, but it also could be the kids playing and then other spirits whispering and or waking up the person.
I don't suppose we know exactly which cabin that's so haunted.
It didn't say. They do lean really hard into their hauntings, and a lot of this information is actually from their website. They have a blog on there, but they didn't divulge which cabin it is.
Because that'd probably be the most requested cabin.
That's what I think.
Well,
or the least, depending.
Yeah, and actually say that might actually hurt its reputation, because I don't think a ton of people will be like, yes, I can't wait to be shaken awake in my bed by something I can't see.
Right. That's not really what you're looking for when you go to the Poconos.
Erica's looking like it's a no for her.
No. So, time to answer the question. Would you visit this place of paranormal phenomena? And since it is an active inn, let's say, would you go back at night since we were there during the day? Would you stay the night? And would you do a ghost hunt at night?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes. Because they also had pretty good beer. So I could always... So, if I get attacked by a spirit, beer in hand, that's not the worst fate. Not the worst thing. Well,
yeah, I would definitely go back. I think it was such a beautiful space. I love the Poconos. But also they do have ghost hunting weekends, specifically where you can have a room there, but they also have ghost hunts like on a rolling basis.
Oh, that's cool.
At night. Yeah, so it's like if you want to go to bed at 5 p.m. and sleep until 7:30 and then go do a ghost hunt the rest of the night and go to bed at dawn, you can. Or if you want to, stay up all night and go to bed at 5 a.m., you can, and you can hunt with people throughout the night. And they actually had experts that were coming in to help assist with this.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. So I especially want to go back for that. But also, I'd like to also just go back and experience the brewery, because it was also a beautiful area. They had a nice outdoor seating area. Like, this is like free publicity, but whatever. It was just a cool little area. And
yeah, it was
like
really
to go
cool.
back.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning in for this week's episode discussing the Shawnee Inn. Tune in next week on Paranormal in Pennsylvania to see what hauntings we discuss next.
Spooky!